Hi, I'm Alarke. We're here in Roma Norte in Mexico City, en la colonia de Roma Norte en la Ciudad de México. Me llamo Alarke y estoy muy emocionada para tocar un set en vivo, mi set electrónico esta noche para ustedes. Yeah, I'm very excited to play an electronic set tonight at the Vault here in Roma Norte. Art Week is so cool. I love Art Week. And I think the only problem with playing music during Art Week is that I don't get to go to all of the events, is I want to go to everything. So Art Week is tons of galleries are opening up, and not just galleries, but there's different music events, there's fashion. So it's a great time to come to Mexico City, one of my favorites. I'm wearing a piece by a designer, and this brand is called Modern Fairy. And the designer named Lena lives in Ibiza, and she's here in town for Art Week. And we got connected through a friend, and we decided to collaborate on a piece. And I'm wearing her pieces in the show, and she styled me. I feel like Tinkerbell. My earrings are these two big pieces like this. I've got a bodysuit on. Oh, I've got this handpiece on. These are local Mexican designers, Afrodita. My nail stylist gave this to me because I liked it, and she was like, you can have it. So I think it's good luck. Black snake. So we're here at the Vault. It's a very comfortable play area. I'm gonna take a seat here and check out what I have. So I'm not dressed or ready yet. Well, I'm dressed. Well, I'm not fully dressed. You're never fully dressed until you have your jewelry on. But this is jewelry that I got here down the street, Afrodita. And it is like this. So I'll also have to do my hair, but the jewelry will go like this. Gracias. I mean, I have to do my hair and my makeup, but you get the idea. This little handpiece, key, look really nice when I'm playing my controller. Da, da, da. Okay, fun trick that I've learned and I'm gonna try is to use hairspray with an old toothbrush, and you like get those really down. Better than chocolate? Is the eyeshadow really better than chocolate? That's a big claim. Maybe it is. So, a singer's gotta shine. I have a brush, so I'm using a tissue. So you can use little secrets, stage secrets, beauty. The musical approach to my set tonight, it's almost all entirely originals except for one cover song. And it is a mixture between, well, the bass is all electronic, and then I throw in some jazz vocals in some places, and I throw in some opera vocals at the end. And my background is that I was an opera singer internationally, and in US, Canada, Europe. I would sing at the Kennedy Center with Placido Domingo. And then I became a jazz singer, and I sang jazz manouche with Romani musicians and their caravans and friends. And then I had my career doing that in New York. But I always loved electronic music and dance music. And so I have transitioned over the years to now having the electronic as the musical foundation. And then I incorporate elements of jazz in terms of maybe I'll do some improvised melodies and harmonies with my looping, or I'll do different jazz chords. And also in one of my songs that I do a cover of, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, that song I have sampled jazz manouche guitar solo. Now that I found you, stay and let me love you. So jazz manouche is the music of Django Reinhardt. It's hot 30s jazz from France. And so I hired a friend of mine, a bandmate in New York, to record some solos, and we sampled them and chopped them up, and they're super cool. Also, a fun fact about my show tonight is that I have amazing mentors that I always surround myself with. And one of my mentors who's been helping me with my live set in Ableton, his name is Da Vinci of Studio Sensei, and he is a wizard on Ableton, all things programming and controllerism. And he just played at the Grammys with Lauryn Hill. He is her musical director and controllerist, and he rotates between various roles for her. And so I booked 4 sessions with him over the past 2 weeks to prepare for this. And he was like, oh, you got me right in time for the Grammys. Okay, I'm gonna fly out to LA. I'm gonna work with you while I'm in my hotel room and then come back. And so, yeah, a lot of the music is really guided from incredible musicians I love working with. That's it, incredible musicians. I'm playing my live set in Ableton Live, and I'm using a MIDI controller called Ableton Push. In Ableton Push, I've got vocal loops. I'm going to be doing live finger drumming. To be doing live chopped vocal sampling, and I'm also going to be doing vocal effects and instrumental effects through different effects that I've programmed on return tracks. So, for example, at the end of the set, I'm going to be singing some opera over a UKG track that I produced. And in the opera, I'm going to be doing all sorts of electronic effects, like beat repeat and delays and reverbs and fade to grays. Lines up there, and so I'm just going to go for my vocal DJ effect rack and like throw a delay on it or then turn it off. And another cool thing about my set with Ableton is that I'm using a script within Ableton, which is something that I've learned from Da Vinci and another mentor of mine, Laura Escudé. And so we use this script called ClyphX, and we're scripting the software. So in between every song, I press a button and everything resets to 0, so I don't have to manually do it. And I just think it's really cool. I've used AI to help me as a tool. I've not yet used it to generate music, but I have friends that have, and the students that I work with in my platform, Supreme Sound Life, where I mentor other artists, one of them writes a lot of music in AI for fun and shows it to me. I feel intimidated. I have a love-hate relationship with it, or maybe it's not that strong. It's like a like-dislike relationship with it. You know, there's a fear of being replaced or creativity. For example, so much goes into putting on a live electronic set because there's so many things that can you have to be on top of all of these little routing human things. And then if you have AI, it's like, what is so special about it, or the musical quality? I think it's a good tool. I write with AI, so I use Claude. So for example, I use scale degrees to help me wrap my head around writing melodies and analyzing melodies. And I did this for my track Straight Signal that I'm going to be playing tonight for the opera vocals, is that I was inspired by the opera vocals from Phantom of the Opera, and I notated what the scale degrees would be in. And then I popped it into Claude and I asked it to give me some variations on those scale degrees just to experiment with the brainstorming process. And I actually have a YouTube video on it, and it showed me different ideas, and then I used some of those. I also use AI like ChatGPT if I'm stuck when I'm mixing a song, or when I'm having a router issue in my Ableton set. It's not always right with the routing issues, but with mixing, it's pretty good actually, if I tell it some reference tracks. So as a tool, it's cool. As a creative output itself, I think it's gonna rival humans, maybe be better, but live and let live. What an exciting time we live in. Like, what else can I say? Come into the room, come with me.